A very, very long stream day if I am up to it. I am very into the idea of streaming for longer periods of time again, and especially as we approach, the metamorphosis of the studio. I'm ordering everything tomorrow, so which is a lot of stuff. And it's going to take me a couple days to get it all up and running once I receive it. And although I'd love to think that everything's going to get here on Monday except for the computer, that's not going to happen. The desk is probably going to come last, which is like, ugh. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be completely out of commission doing stuff. It just won't be, in the way that I'd like. So what I'll probably be doing is doing like YouTube videos and stuff like that from like the new phone and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. In any case, I'm looking forward to it. So, Mutant, to answer your question, yes, you have to go to that link if you want to enter that giveaway. You have to. That's the whole deal of that giveaway. That's a whole other thing. It's something that it's popping off in about a week. It's something I got the bright idea to do, just to say thank you guys for really just giving me the spark. Like I often talk about how much I love entertaining you guys and how much I want a community and everything, but what I want more than anything is the desire to play games and the desire to do this. And you guys give me that all the time. I mean, yes, there are days where I'm like, oh, I don't fucking feel like streaming, because Sval can certainly speak to this. It can be a drain on the brain, if you will. But I think part of that comes from, the fact that, certain technical parts about streaming I'm not a fan of. I know what I would love to see happen, but I don't see it. For example, I use Buffer for all my social media stuff, and I could automate that. But if I automate that to where it's going to go out on a certain time, if I'm not streaming at that time, I look like a liar. And I can't integrate Twitch with Buffer because this is not their thing, at least not that I know of. Because if I could do that, if I could integrate with Buffer, a reliable API link, to where as soon as I go out live, it links to Buffer, and Buffer sends out to Google, Facebook page, and Twitter, just like that. And then if once that link pops up, I could then automatically update the command. There's a lot of automated stuff that I'd love to be able to do that I just can't do. And although moderators could certainly manually update commands and things like that. I mean, it's something that these guys are volunteers. I'm not going to ask them to do more work. So it's just one of those things. I suppose it's only fair to tell you guys where my head's been at the last couple of days. I've been struggling with the notion of spending this money in this way. I don't know what other noble thing I would do with it, obviously, and I had mentioned to several people, like, there were years upon years where I would end up using the Christmas money my mother gave me to pay bills and make ends meet, or to subsidize bills so that when we got paid next we could do something else and stuff like that. And I feel like now that she's gone, like, I'm not going to get any more Christmases with her. So why not spend the money on like one fucking big Christmas? And this isn't just like for the studio. There's stuff out in the apartment too. Like, I'm getting speaker stands. I've been wanting speaker stands since I got the surround system that I got when I got that thing back in 2006, 2007. Oh, wait. Yeah, it would have been 2007, 2008. Somewhere in there. And, 2007. So it's been almost 10 years I've had that system when I'm not getting rid of it because it works absolutely perfect. Love that thing to death. And I just been wanting speaker stands for it for a very long time. I just never decided to scrape up and do it. So I'm doing that. And I'm also doing, obviously, like the new desk. What you're going to see, and I'll mental preview, right, guys? So the desk goes against the wall. It's going to be a 5-foot desk with the three 27-inch monitors there, and then one up above, which is the one I'm using right now. And on either side are going to be a 4-shelf ladder bookshelf. On my right, if you're sitting at the desk, will be all the consoles. On the left will be like anything computer related, so like the printer and some other stuff, things like that, and just kind of the incidentals, and then probably some collectible stuff and whatnot. And then behind me, all the way along the wall, you'll have like a like dead center behind me is going to be this really weird bookshelf that's good for like displaying stuff as well as books. So it's going to be just going to double as an actual bookshelf because I got to get my books up, and as well as the aforementioned like knickknacks and stuff. And then this left side is going to be 2 media shelves that have all my audio CDs on it, and then this one's going to be all my games. And hopefully there's enough room. I'm sure that there will be. And then what I figured out yesterday was that I'm mounting everything else into the wall. Like, for example, like the screen stand that I have, I'm clipping 2 soft boxes, which are slightly smaller than ones I have now, actually to the stand because I'm not using 2 outer screens. So there's going to be 2 soft boxes pointing in at me from, a couple feet back. It's going to be a good, really good position, and they're out of the way. And then over here, and again, this is going to be far back. I know it's hard to visualize, but I'm going to be as far forward as I can because there's a closet in the way. I'm bolting these extensions for the other soft boxes as high as I can so they'll be out of frame. I'm pointing down at the green screen, which itself will be mounted on the same kind of hardware going across the very back wall. And the green screens will kind of flow over top of the bookshelves. And there'll be 2 of them, and they'll kind of overlap. And the way that I want to keep them together is really simple because they're going to overlap so hard. They'll be clipped behind one another. So one's going to clip, like, say, here. The other one will come across and be clipped over here. So they just overlap, and that's fine. And then when they're not in use, I'll just take the D-rings off and pull them back like a shower curtain. In fact, I'm using industrial curtain rings to do this. And then they'll just kind of tuck behind the bookshelves. Because the outer bookshelves, because of the length of the room, they have to come out at an angle, kind of. Which is fine, because the green screen's going to have to be at an angle anyway. Because to hit these side walls here, and because of how far the camera back is. So it's going to be... if I pull this off, it's going to be one of the coolest things I've ever done. If I don't pull it off, it won't be for lack of trying, and I'll have to figure something else out. So what I'm going to be doing is, when everything comes, like the first thing I'm going to have to do, realistically, is tear down the computer, or at least get it off to the side. Like, realistically, what I'm going to have to do, and this is so stupid, but I'm going to take the computer, one of the monitors, and the webcam, and I'll hook them back up. So, like, I'll have to tear down the room, because in order for this to work, I have to have this room cleared. So I'm going to tear down the whole computer, have the webcam up at roughly the height I think it's going to be mounted, and then I'm going to put up the new green screens and simulate that with this stand, and see if there's enough coverage. And pray to Godzilla that I was right with my calculations. So I'm rather stoked. Yeah, I just got it, Azizo. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate all the hard work that you have done. Really appreciate that, sir. Cheers. So, I know I'm rambling on and on and on about this stuff. It's mainly because there's so few people that like I'll talk to that actually give a shit about this stuff, or they don't understand it. Like my friends are like, "Oh yeah, that sounds really cool." Like you sound, in other words, they're like, "You sound like you're going to be really happy with this." And for me, it's like, yeah, I will be. But that's not why I'm telling you. I'm telling you because I want to make sure I'm not full of myself, And they're all like, dude, if I had the money, I'd do something similar. It wouldn't be the exact same thing. I mean, yesterday I was kind of agonizing. I called the guy over at Puga Systems, and I ended up. Oh, Azizo, it's fine, dude. Like, I'm ordering the thing tomorrow. Like, I can give that to them at any point. So, like, the only thing they're kind of worried about is that the front image might be like so close to Godzilla because it is Godzilla, um, that they might not be able to print it for profit. You know what I mean? Because it's copyrighted. So what I'm doing is they didn't say anything about the side one, so I'm going to take the side, but I've already commissioned the person who made this artwork behind me to make the front one. So you're totally good, dude, and you're still going to get credit and all that stuff. Um, you're good. But I just kind of, you only get this chance once in a lifetime, and some people don't even get that. And I'm hoping I do it right. I know it sounds stupid. I'm upgrading my computer to these massive specs and getting multiple monitors and get ready for virtual reality and all this shit. And it's first world problems, like of the highest order, right? And I just kind of feel like nothing I could spend this money on that would be like of benefit to me would be good enough. That's really what it comes down to. And I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me yip yap about this, and I can certainly yip yap about this while we're playing games. So let's go ahead and do that.